Okay, Rishabh, thanks very much for coming to see EGE and to be with us for this interactive session.
My pleasure.
The basic idea of talking with you is to get to know your real experiences because you're studying at the University of California at Merced and you went there as an undergraduate. So the reason why we are meeting today is to ask you about what your experience was, so that the other students who are aspiring to do what you have done can benefit from that. So my first question to you, Rishabh, is like, A, why did you choose to go overseas? There were a bunch of options available in India. So why did you choose to go abroad?
See, when you ask anyone about like why do you want to go overseas, basically you have this thing that in studying in your home country it relaxes you. So you're not flexible enough, and the most important thing that I feel, and that the main reason I went for study abroad, is I want exposure. And I thought that US was the perfect place for me to get an exposure in my major, that's management. And people I follow, most of them, like I can name a few, like all the people like Ambani's, and they have studied from the US. There's a reason they have studied from there. I mean, that's the reason I plan to go there and follow my major. And it's just like they're so flexible over there that you can decide. The management is a huge major. There's so many things when you keep on going, right? So the reason there's a 4-year college instead of a 3-year like the normal London and India is because the first year you can decide what you want to do, and that's pretty good. I mean, that system is pretty good. So that's the reason I chose US.
But were you aware about this flexibility before you chose?
Yes, because I researched into the universities and the first year, and I read some reviews on websites too. So they say that the first year is a deciding year. It's the decision year. You make decisions what you want to do, because I might think that I'm gonna do management, but when I get there, you never know. I might just go into I might just take sociology as my major.
Sure. Okay. And when you were deciding or the process of selecting the universities, the countries, etc., what process did you really follow?
Selecting the country, as I told you, is basically I had to go to the US because all my role models studied from there and in the same field. So that was my main reason, because the US is it's the largest economy in the world, and a lot of job opportunities and exposure. And then my university, it's University of California, and it has 10 major campuses in California itself. So the reason I chose the newest campus, which is not that old, is because when there's a player when you rank players, right? There's the top player who's ranked 1, and there's the second player who's ranked 2nd. You won't see that much dedication in the first player as you would see in the second one, because the second one is striving to become first. Sure. So that's the reason I chose to go to UC Merced, because it is striving to become the best UC in the system. And the amount of dedication given by the professors, the facilities, and everything, it has covered everything that the other UCs haven't. And it's a 21st century university, that's what I can say. So that was my first reason to choose that university. The second thing is, since it's a new university, not a lot of people, the teacher to student interaction is more. Compared to universities, we have 100 students in a class, and then the professor doesn't even know you. But in this one, the professor personally knows you. And the most important thing that I've realized in 2 years in the university is that you need to know your professors. You need to know your professors, because when you go in the outside world, they are the ones who are going to get you a job, and they are the ones who are going to give you recommendations. So you need to know them, and you need to use them, and you need to squeeze all the benefits out of them.
Did you take help of any admission guidance companies like EGE or anybody else when you were in the process of applying and really physically filing the applications?
Yes, I did. In fact, I had one counselor I didn't initially take help because I thought I would do it all by myself, and for some reason it didn't yield any results. But then I met this guy. He was an individual counselor, and he guided me to some schools, and I did apply to those schools, and eventually I didn't get my choice of schools. We could have worked out, but we applied in a short time span, so we didn't have enough time to go over the application process and everything, so we had to do everything quick, and that's the reason I think that when you apply to big schools, you need some time. You need some time to apply because you have to write your letter of recommendations, your statement of purposes thoughtfully, and not just scribble all over the paper or all over the essays. So luckily I ended at UC Merced. That's a good thing, but I regret because I wish I had more time.
Sure. What do you think is really the value addition, that an admission guidance company brings to a student who is really seeking to study abroad?
The thing, it really helps you a lot. I mean, you're really unsure about how to go about the process. It's a huge process. It's tedious, and you don't know what those documents are. You don't know how to get those documents. And if you take help of a professional agency or professional company or advising or counseling, they can at least advise you how to go about the process and make the right decision. That's the most important thing. If you make the right decision, they will help you from there because they will do everything methodically. Mm-hmm. They'll help you. They'll tell you that what you need, what all documents you need, what kind of GPA you need to have for this university, and if you're eligible for financial aid or some scholarships or any sort of aid to you, and how to apply, when to apply, all the deadlines, and certain subjects such as housing, employment, driving licenses, and all that. They are very fruitful about that information.
Okay, what would be your advice, to other people who are, in the similar process, struggling between which country, which course, which university? I mean, from your lessons or your learnings, what would be your advice to them? What should they do?
They should research as much as possible.
On their own?
On their own first.
Okay.
They should research on their own first, and then seek help. Go to the counselors because you never know, they might research some wrong things, and they think that this is the one I want to go to. Some people are stubborn that they want to go to this because they said that I've researched, but they may be wrong because you interpret many things differently. So research, gather as much as information as possible, go to the counselors and seek help, and they will filter out the right choices for you. And once that's filtered out, then you research more, and then you go to the counselor. Actually, the counselor will do everything after that for you. You don't need to do anything by yourself. And now in India, they have started being really true about what you want. And plus, counseling agencies such as EGE, they have started providing psychometric tests. So that's one great thing because you know where to go. Because a student just walks in and says that I'm going to do management, because commerce, science, it's a common field, but they don't know what to do after that. So you never know. A person who's saying he'll do commerce and then ends up in the psychometric test, the results that he's going to do really good in arts or sociology or physiology or any other science or management. It might be an eye-opener for him, so he might just end up in the right field. It's shaping your career